When it is time for a narcissist to discard you once and for all, they do something so twisted, so confusing, that for a second it makes you think, oh, perhaps they're a changed person, they're getting better, maybe they're different. What they do is so shocking that it leaves you feeling completely powerless before them. There are two possibilities racing through your mind. Either you can't fight them anymore, or nothing you do will ever have meaning. What they do is calculated, devastating, and designed to leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about your relationship with them. Hi, I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. The topic for this episode is the last dirty thing a narcissist does before the final discard. If that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing to my channel. We are just 3K away from 500K, so let's celebrate it together. If you have been a part of this journey, thank you so much. Subscribe now if you have not already. Imagine this. You have been through months, maybe years of emotional warfare, right? The silent treatments, the gaslighting, the constant criticism, the hot and cold behavior that has left you walking on eggshells. You are exhausted, emotionally drained, and a part of you knows this relationship is extremely toxic. You may have even started planning your exit or setting boundaries. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, your narcissistic partner does a complete 180. They show up with flowers, write you the most heartfelt letter you have ever received, or have what seems like the most genuine, vulnerable conversation of your entire relationship. They admit their mistakes, not the surface level, I'm sorry you feel that way nonsense they usually pull, but real, specific acknowledgments of how they have hurt you. They may say things like, I've been doing some serious thinking, and I realize how badly I have treated you. You did not deserve any of it. I want to be the partner you need me to be. I'm ready to change for real this time. They may even choose a therapist for you, which happens to be an enabler, something they've always refused before. They talk about your future together, make concrete plans that look real, show you the kind of attention and affection you have been craving for so long. For the first time in forever, you feel seen, heard, and valued by them. This is not love bombing. This is something far more sinister. Love bombing happens at the beginning to hook you, okay? This happens when they're already planning their exit. It is the false reconciliation trap, and it is perhaps the cruelest thing a narcissist can do. You may be wondering, why do they do this if they are planning to leave anyway? Why put on this elaborate show? Why not just disappear? The answer lies in understanding the narcissistic mind and their need for control, even in endings. First, they want to leave on their terms, right? They do not want to be abandoned. Narcissists cannot stand the idea of being the one who gets left behind. If you have been pulling away, setting boundaries, or showing signs that you may leave, they need to flip the script. They need to be the one doing the leaving, not you. Second, they want to ensure maximum damage. A narcissist does not just want to end the relationship, they want to break you in the process. They want you to believe that you had something real, something worth fighting for, right before they snatch it away. The higher they lift you up, the more devastating the fall will be. Third, they are collecting ammunition for their smear campaign. During their false reconciliation period, you will open up to them in ways you have not in months or years. You will share your vulnerabilities, hopes, and fears. You will tell them how much this change means to you, how grateful you are. All of this becomes ammunition they will use against you later when they paint you as the crazy, the unstable, the needy, or the delusional one to their new supply or to the world in general. Fourth, they are securing their next supply. This reconciliation period gives them time to line up their replacement while keeping you placated and unaware. You're so grateful for the change in their behavior that you're not paying attention to the fact that they are still on dating apps, still texting their ex, or still cultivating relationships with potential new partners. The reconciliation trap typically unfolds in stages, and each stage is designed to pull you deeper into their web. Stage number one, the shocking turnaround. It starts with them approaching you with what seems like genuine remorse and a desire to change. This usually happens after a particularly bad fight or period of silent treatment. They may write you a long text or email, show up unexpectedly with a grand gesture, or ask to have a serious conversation. The key here is that their approach feels different, more mature, more self aware than anything you have ever experienced with them before. Stage number two, the vulnerability performance. They share things with you they have never shared before. Maybe they talk about their childhood trauma, right? Their insecurities, their fears about relationships. They make themselves seem vulnerable and human in a way that makes you feel like you are finally seeing the real them. This vulnerability feels like intimacy, like you're finally connecting on a deeper level. Stage number three, the future fantasy. They start making plans with you, real concrete plans I'm talking about. Maybe they suggest moving in together, talking about marriage, discussing having children, or they make plans for a vacation of 6 months from now. They paint a picture of a future that includes everything you have ever wanted from the relationship. They may even introduce you to family members you have never met or include you in events they have always excluded you from before. Stage number four, the honeymoon period. For a few weeks or even months, they actually follow through on some of their promises. They are attentive, affectionate, and communicative. They remember important dates, ask about your day, show interest in your hobbies and friends. They may even go to that couple's therapy session they suggested. Everything feels like it's finally falling into place. But stage five, the gradual withdrawal happens. Almost imperceptibly, they start pulling back. It is subtle at first. They may be a little less responsive to texts, showing slightly less enthusiasm about your plans together, or seem distracted when you're talking. You probably won't even notice it immediately because you are still basking in the glow of how good things have been. Stage number six, the devastating discard. Then comes the final blow. They do not just leave, they obliterate everything they have built up. They may disappear without warning, leaving you with all these plans and promises hanging in the air. Or they may tell you they have been seeing someone else the entire time. Or they may suddenly flip the script and tell you that you are the problem, that you are too needy, that they tried, but you made it impossible for them to change. The discard is swift, brutal, and designed to leave you questioning everything that just happened. The psychological impact of the false reconciliation trap is devastating because it exploits your deepest desires and fears. You have been longing for this person to see your worth, to treat you well, to be the partner you know they can be. When they finally do all of this, it feels like validation that you were right to stick around, right to believe in them. Then, when they discard you, you are not just losing the relationship, you are losing the future you had planned together. The hope that things could be different and your faith in your judgment. You start questioning everything. Was any of it real? How could they fake vulnerability so convincingly? How did you fall for it again? The trauma of this experience runs deeper than a regular breakup because it involves such a profound betrayal of trust and hope. You opened your heart fully, believing that this person had finally changed, only to discover it was an elaborate lie. Narcissists are master manipulators. They have spent their entire lives learning how to mirror emotions, say the right things, and make people believe what they want them to believe. The vulnerability they showed you was not real. It was a carefully crafted performance designed to get you back under their control. Now, why does this hurt more than regular discard? You may wonder why. Why is this particular form of discard more damaging than their usual hot and cold behavior? The difference lies in the hope factor. When a narcissist is consistently terrible to you, part of your brain maintains emotional distance as a protective mechanism. You know not to trust them completely, so while their abuse hurts, it does not surprise you. But when they show up offering everything you have ever wanted from them, your defenses come down completely. You allow yourself to hope, to believe to invest emotionally in a way you have not done in months or years. You start planning a future, telling friends and family that things are different this time, maybe even turning down other opportunities because you are committed to making this work. When they discard you after this, the betrayal cuts to your core because you trusted them with your most vulnerable self. You gave them your hope. And what did they do? They used it as a weapon against you. After the false reconciliation trap, survivors struggle with several specific issues. Number one, trust beyond the norm. It's not just that you do not trust this person anymore, you do not trust your own ability to judge whether someone is being genuine. If you could be fooled by such an elaborate performance, how can you ever trust your instincts again? Then comes the hope addiction. Part of you remains convinced that the person you saw during the reconciliation was the real them, cognitive dissonance. And if you could just get them back, you could have the entire relationship trauma bonding. This makes it incredibly difficult to move on because you're not just mourning what was, you are mourning what could have been, right? The hopeless hope. Emotional whiplash, that's the other struggle. The rapid shift from hope to devastation leaves you feeling emotionally unstable. You may find yourself cycling through anger, sadness, confusion, and disbelief multiple times in a single day. And that's why I call it grieving a living dead person, because that person is dead for you, the person you fell in love with, but the person who abused you, betrayed you, is still walking around. If you have been through an experience like this, you must understand the fault was not yours. It was the other person who knew what they were doing and played you. Definitely, it's going to hit them back. Karma, as it said, what goes around comes around. What you send out will be sent back to you by the universe. And that is how the balance is maintained. Let's bring this episode to an end here. Let me know in the comments if you resonated with what I shared with you today. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.